How are you seeing your crisis? Every day we're pushed into different situation. Every day we're put into a place that we don't understand. But how do you view it? How are you approaching your crisis, or how are you approaching your difficulties in this time? How are you developing as a leader? Because when you get into crisis situation, it comes to push you. It comes to develop you. But the way we see it is what affects us. How are you thinking about it? How are you looking at it? Are you seeing it that it's come to break you down and you're gonna fall down and not get up? Or are you gonna take that as a challenge to push yourself into a different place? Are you gonna step up to the plate and says, even though I'm down in the valley, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep developing. I'm a think of a new way how to do something. Like in the video, you were saying you get laid off your job. What are you gonna do? Usually when we get laid off our job, when we get into crisis mode, we get depressed and we don't innovate. We don't think of a new idea, a new way to get out of it. And that's why when we meet people, we tell them, find a business now, find something now before you get into the crisis. So when the crisis come, you're already prepared. What have you done before your crisis have arrived? What have you done to prepare for it? And even if you're not prepared for it, how do you view it? When you're sitting in trying times, how do you view it? Is it developing you as a leader? How are you leading your family in the middle of a crisis? Because life is gonna happen. The world is turning, so everything is gonna come at you. It's always gonna come. All of this it's gonna always come. It's gonna always come. So how are you operating in the middle of your crisis? Is it developing a better person in you? Are you thinking of new ways and new innovation? And let's go back to my old ideas. Let's see how I can develop it and make it better. Like he said, this man had a business and he went back and and told them that I already did it. I knew how to do it. I just hit hard times. Give me a second chance. Are you giving yourself a second chance? Are you just beating up yourself when something fails? Are you giving yourself a second chance at life, a second chance as building the business, a second chance as being the best parents, being the best wife? Give yourself a break in this season. Don't let your crisis dictate how you feel and how you operate, but continue to move, continue to push, even when life becomes hard. Even when life becomes hard, continue to move. The crisis didn't come to break you, it came to make you better. Like he said, things were built out of crisis. That is when people got creative and innovative. What are you doing creative and innovative in your life? What are you thinking of? How are you thinking? You might be in a business like most of us on here, and things might be slow. It might be a season where it's slow, and you might not be getting enough traffic to your business, but what can you do to move traffic to your business? How can you get the message across? What is it that you're doing? What are the new ideas that you're thinking? Get together with some people and start getting ideas together and say, how can I move this forward? Okay, this is my dream and this is my desire. So your crisis come to push you so you can think of new ways how to get to where you're going. Don't give up in the middle of your crisis. People tend to break in the middle of their crisis. And God didn't design it for that. He designed it so you could get better. He designed it so he could break you and make you and mold you into the person that he's called you to. If you don't go through nothing, you can't get to the place of purpose. Because diamonds don't shine unless they're broken and crushed. And God has called you to be a diamond in this earth. He's called you to shine. So guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to get broken. You're gonna have to get crushed. You're gonna have to get beat down just to shine. But how are you gonna handle that? Are you gonna get into your word and let your word guide you? If you're not spiritual on here, and if you don't know God, find something. Are you gonna meditate? Are you gonna get to the center of you and see Where am I going? What am I doing in this season? What do I need to do different to change my outcome? What is it that you need to do different to change your outcome of what's going on in your life? The pressures of life is going to always come, and it doesn't come to break you. It comes to get you to a place of better, to develop you as a leader. Yes. When the pressure comes, it turns into cold into diamond. That's right, Robert. It turns cold into diamond. And because we're made to be diamonds, we're made to shine, to be a light to somebody else. We have to go through our crisis. We have to go through our hard times. We have to, because somebody else is depending on us. I don't know why this is always my message. Maybe I'm in a season of this, but I feel like this is my message, but I feel like somebody else might be going through hard times. Somebody else might be going through trying times. Somebody else might need to hear this word and need to know that it didn't come to break you. It came to make you better. Leaders are developed in hard time, and all of us on here are leaders. So this is your developing time. If you can't go through it, then you're not prepared for leadership. And guess what? You won't arrive to where God is calling you to until you go through it. You can't go around it. You can't go sideways. You got to go through it. You can't go around your crisis. You can't go around your breaking. You can't go around the things that comes to get you to the place of purpose. You can't go around it. You're going to have to go through it. And the quicker we learn how to go through our test and our trial, the quicker we'll get to the place of purpose. The quicker we'll build a business if we will know that this doesn't come to break you, it comes to develop you. And as a person that's been through so much in my life, I can speak from a place that I know that God is able to take you through it. And he's able to give you joy in the middle of it. That is where the happiness lies, when you have joy and peace in the middle of your crisis, in the middle of your test, in the middle of it, God gives you peace. And you know how you get that peace? Because you lean on the maker. You lean not onto your own understanding, but to God. He said, in all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. If you acknowledge that he is Lord of your life and he's guiding you, he will direct you. So the crisis didn't come to break you. It came to make you better. We just have to learn how to operate in our crisis. We just have to learn how to be happy. He said, be content in whatever state you're in. Don't be only happy when things are going good. Be happy when they're going bad too. And figure out a way how to move forward. Don't stay in the funk. Don't stay down. Find a friend to talk to. Find a word to listen to. Find a song that lifts you up. But don't stay in the funk, but move forward. This was a great message today. This is a great message of just knowing that crises are always going to come. As long as you're living, it's going to come. And you have to learn how to operate in it. You have to get into that mindset to say that this is what it is, and I'm going to get through this. Trouble don't last always. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning light. There's joy. There's joy on the other side of your troubles. There's joy. If you're building something and you're in a season where it is not moving, just remember that if you continue to work, it will move. My pastor was preaching yesterday, and I'll bring that. He said, without the work, no rain will come. So even in the middle of your trial and your tribulation, if you're building something, you got to keep working, because the cultivation is the work. When you work the ground, when you continue to make the calls, you continue to move forward, you continue to network, you continue to do the things, when the rain come, then it will grow. The rain come, it will grow. It will. Because I know the season that I'm in right now. If anybody knows the season they're in, they'll understand what God is doing. You got to know what season you're sitting in. You got to know, even if it's a crisis season, you got to know what season you're sitting in. And you got to continue to do the work. You can't quit. You got to work so the rain will come. And I promise you, the rain will come. It will come. It will come if you keep working. if you keep moving, if you keep pushing, if you push through the trials. As I said, you can't go around it. You got to go through it. If you continue to push through it, God will continue to grow you. He'll continue to do the things that he promised you. One thing about my God, he cannot lie. He's not a God to lie. So anything that he's promised you and anything that he's spoken over you, it shall surely come to pass. It will. It shall come to pass because he's not a God to lie. So I just want you to remember today that crisis didn't come to break you. It came to make you stronger. It came to develop you as a leader. It came to develop you as a person. It came to develop you into that man or woman that God has called you to be. It has come to push you into the place of purpose, not to break you. But the other thing I want you to remember today is to have peace in the middle of your crisis, in the middle of your trials. Have peace and seek the peacemaker, which is God. Just know that it didn't come to break you. It came to develop you into the person that you're supposed to be. And I want to encourage you to continue to push through your crisis, continue to push through your hard days, continue to push through your place that you think is the hardest. And it didn't come to break you. Just don't quit. Keep doing the work. That's the other thing I want you to remember. Keep doing the work. Whatever it is you're building, whatever it is you're doing, keep doing the work. If it's your family life, if it's your business, if it's your career, keep doing the work. Don't quit, because when you do the work, the rain will come and it will grow. You're welcome, Kay. Continue to do the work. Don't stop. Don't let the crisis stop you from doing the work. Work is important. The crisis comes to distract you from the work. So I don't want you to be distracted by your crisis, by your trials, by your tribulation. The enemy comes to distract you so you'll stop doing the work. But that is where the victory lies. It lies in the work. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to work on your business. Continue to work on your family. Continue to do the work, because your mind will only grow as much as you grow. So if you do the work on you, everything else around you will grow. The business that you're building will grow. You will develop as a leader. So if you continue to do the work on me, that's who I can do the work on. I can do the work on Carly, nobody else. If you continue to do that work, everything else will fall into place, because the work on you is what God wants you to focus on, and everything else will fall into place. I love you guys today, and I want you to be blessed. And just know this is the season that will push you into your well-to place. Continue to do the work. I love you guys.